Hey everyone, Sean here, and it's been a while since I've last done one of these, which is the channel updates. So thought I check in and see how you guys been doing, and let you guys see how I've been doing as well. So, hope everyone's been doing well this summer. I know it's been pretty rough over the past couple of years, and with the coronavirus still lingering around, I think even in fact starting to sort of go up again, unfortunately. Especially with stuff like Anime Expo 2022 that just took place, and some people are starting to get sick and stuff like that. Just hopefully from the con flu, but I wouldn't be surprised if people start to show symptoms of COVID and stuff like that. But just wanted to let you guys know what's been going on with me and stuff like that. I feel like I have some things to say. That's like a vloggy type of video, so which is why I'm here. So yeah, I mean, as you can tell, I'm still making videos, so I'm still hanging in there and stuff like that with whatever I can do, and things have been pretty rampant over the past few weeks. I actually have not been, first off, working a whole lot in comparison to before. Once again, with the part-time warehouse job with Amazon, and things have been changing once again, and so it's like it's been harder for me to even um, like even pick up something to work, for to pick up work, um, and also not only that's been happening, I also have been um, out of commission in terms of a car, right? As some of you have seen with the post on the community side of the community post, I don't have my car anymore because the Lexus IS250, which was the car I was driving, pretty much is out of commission. The transmission is done, so to speak. From what the mechanic has been telling me, there's been things that have been going wrong with the transmission. It's not like completely like it's like destroyed or anything like that, but in terms of like longevity and just like the overall sort of like outcome, even if I do get it repaired slash replaced, it does not guarantee, you know, a longer life or anything like that, and without any problems and stuff like that for the old IS250. I think it's time for her to go pretty much. So I'm pretty much without a car, and for right now, luckily I can just use my mom's car whenever I needed to go somewhere and stuff like that, or go to work. But that's if I pick up a shift, but or am able to pick up a shift. Um, with that itself is another situation again. But the car has been, yeah, been around for much longer time than the Silica, which was my first car, and pretty much the Lexus IS250, because it's been around a lot longer. I do I do have more memories with it. Um, it's been through a lot more, of course, so that's pretty natural, of course. Um, like a lot of college driving for sure on the 710 in California and stuff like that. It's been through a number of freeways, man. The 405 and everything, the 5 and all that stuff. 210, whatever, or 2 something. um, and yeah, not only for college, right? It took me all the way to my graduation, but like also whenever I had to work in Santa Monica for the warehouse stuff, that got me through every freaking day, pretty much, almost, of um, a total of hour and a half on the 405 there and back to work or from work, which has always been a nightmare, but it is what it is. And the trips to the LA Convention Center, including E3, and also funny enough, AX the AX stuff, Anime Expo. I think it was like one was like from 14 and 15, if I can remember correctly. But that it's been to two anime expos for sure, and then E3, two E3s. Um, those are some interesting times, and then of course it's been to two Evos, taking myself and my friends to getting there, and um, those have been some great drives and stuff like that, great times. Not to mention just driving in Vegas itself, um, definitely times to remember. And it's been quite a bit, been quite a bit of time. And just in general, like I just been through to a number of places with it, um, friends' houses and stuff like that from far away, and like, just going out to the movies, right? I've been to so many movie trips and stuff like that, and all that stuff, and all the other like trips that I've done with myself in the car, and blah blah blah. You can name it, man. It's been 16 years, so it's been quite a long time. A transmission that's working with a V6 is more likely gonna die sooner than something with a four-cylinder and a transmission, right? So it's pretty natural. It felt like it didn't feel like abrupt or anything like that. I did wish it lasted a little longer, granted, but it still kind of makes sense where and how I drove and what I drove to and just the stuff I put it through, And not to mention, right, I almost forgot, like it's been through a number of ride shares, right? So dude, it's been through quite a bit. I did Lyft with it, so you can imagine the places I had to go to just to pick up people and drop them off and stuff like that. Also with the Amazon Flex stuff, man, the more I talk about it, it makes all the more sense of why it ended up like this, where it is right now. So right now the car is at the shop. It's kind of just sitting there. And then yesterday, as I record this, I went to go pick up my stuff, like all the stuff that's in the car. I went to go pick it up and put it in a box, and I just threw it in the closet for right now. And the mechanic I've been going to, he's holding my car right now, but he's also been there to like pick out all the cars for my family for the most part, including the Celica, my first car. And yeah, so he's been, or they've been, rather, they've been reliable for that. They've always been checking and maintaining our cars. So yeah, they have a history with us for a very long time, and pretty grateful that I have a, really reliable mechanic and stuff like that. And yeah, so apparently, like, according to the mechanic with the transmission thing, it's been an ongoing issue. But it became apparent starting from April of this year. I noticed that, funny enough, when I was like going, one of my very few visits, people I hung out with very few times this year, it was a baby shower, outdoor baby showers at some like outdoor bar, so it was fine. I took the car, and right when I got to the parking lot, it like automatically shut down, like the engine shut off or something like that. My electronics were still working, so it's weird. Like it just kind of like just stopped being responsive, so I had to like reignite the engine or start the engine up again, and then I wanted to like take it somewhere else just to be safe or whatever. Just put it on the street just to be safe, just in case like I don't want to like hold up any traffic in the parking lot or anything like that. So I immediately tried to take it to the another spot, just in case it happened again. So at first I thought it was just me, like maybe I hit the ignition button by accident with my finger or something like that. But the more I thought about it over time, the more I thought it was impossible for me, because that really never happened in the past. So I think in the back of my mind, I think it was some sort of problem, but I just didn't really think of much of that at the time. But then it happened again during one of my just my drives to just pick up food and stuff like that for takeout. And it happened again in a parking lot. Funny enough, it happened twice, in fact, and that started to really worry me. So after I was able to luckily reignite the engine and took it home, I rung up the mechanic, and then I took her there, and then the mechanic pretty much told me, yeah, the transmission is kind of done. So yeah, pretty much usually what happens when the transmission is done is that you pretty much want to move on to a different car. So pretty much what the plan is to just have my mechanic look for a Corolla hatchback of sorts. Whether it's from like 2020 or new or whatever, just look for a good condition, decently priced one, that sort of stuff, and hopefully that can happen relatively soon. But I assume it's gonna be like a month process, or longer. But luckily, I'm not in a rush or anything like that to have a car. I don't need to go anywhere or anything like that. Luckily, where I work is like short distance, so I can pretty much take my mom's car to if I ever need to, and stuff like that. So that's been what's been happening and stuff like that. And so yeah, I mean, again, it's like one of those things, right? Like it's the car is like something you kind of like sometimes underappreciate. You don't really think about it until you lose it. You know what I mean? Like you're just like, damn, this car's been through a lot. You know what I mean? Especially when it's like a really, really old car. It really all hits you at once, I believe, for a lot of people, I should say. I feel anyway. It takes you to places, it takes you to your friends' houses, it takes you, to like all the memorable stuff you just don't really think about until, again, you lose the car. So, it's just one of those things. I will miss it, but at the same time, it's like, I think it's a good time to go. I think it's time for a different car. And I think this time around, I'll definitely go for a more sensible sort of like set of wheels. You know what I'm saying? So you can't go wrong with a Corolla. Those things are just like they're built like a tank pretty much. So they'll like last. I believe they'll last for a very long time. And so hopefully that'll hopefully happen within a reasonable window of time. But again, though, luckily I don't have to I don't need a car, anything like that, for the time being. But it would be nice because it does feel weird to have no car at the moment. It does feel weird to have one less car in the driveway. Let's put it that way. But yeah, more on the car. It's a luxury car, so it does have its faults for the negatives and the pros and stuff like that. When it comes to keeping a luxury car, it started to become a money pit at that point. The paint started to peel, like the clear coat was starting to go. So really shows you how old the car is. It's been through a lot, like I said, and it started to show its age. There were some times where the throttle was kind of like weird. The throttle response was kind of weird here and there. So it's like, yeah, in the back of my mind, I did feel like it was starting to show signs, but I didn't think it would be just like it would just hit like that. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of how it went. And what also sucked about the car in particular, though, is that it has two different sets of tires. So on the front is like a thinner set. It's like a smaller set of tires. And then on the other end is your regular set of tires. So what essentially means is that you can't rotate the tires, which means you can't. You have to spend more money on tires. I think luckily though, I've only done that. I had to do that only once or twice or something like that in the lifetime that I had with it, or in its lifetime here, I should say. It's just one of those weird quirks that I had to deal with the IS 250. I think though by the time the newer ones came out, that went away because it's all-wheel drive or something like that. Or definitely with the all-wheel drive ones, you don't have to deal with that, but still, I think yeah. At this point, I would like to kind of go away from the luxury car and just go more for the practical route. And the Corollas start to, or just cars in general, start to look like really more sporty. Um, so I have more options. I felt like, but me being having a history with more with Toyota, I wanted to stick with more Toyotas and stuff like that for that much longer. So that's why I do want a Corolla. I already have I already know plenty of people who have a freaking Honda Civic. So it's like, yeah, about that. I mean, as tempting it is to have a sporty Civic hatchback from Honda, I would much rather just go with a Corolla. I don't think it's a very good competitor. I think in fact when it comes to subcompacts and stuff like that, or just compact cars, I think the Corolla still comes out on top, but not by much. But it still comes out on top versus the Civic. I mean, it's not to say the Civic is anything bad or anything like that, but it's also it's built to last. You know what I mean? It's like one of those cars, but by a hair or two or whatever, right? I think in some aspects the Corolla is better, but when it comes to like the mid-size sedans, um, I think the Accord is like more apparent that it's a better sedan than the Camry. So if anything, maybe I might veer towards a Honda Accord, which is funny because my very first car I learned to drive on was a Honda Accord from '96. So yeah, it's pretty funny how that would work. But I'm still trying to stick it out and go for a Toyota Corolla hatchback, and hopefully again we find a good one. So again, I'm kind of a car guy, so that's why I'm kind of like carrying on this sort of rant and talk and stuff like that a lot longer. So, it's just kind of just one of those things, right? It was fun. The car was fun to drive. It was great. It had plenty of power. It's a 2.5 V6 or 2.5 liter V6, which means it's a typically a smaller V6 than you would find in other cars, because the typical size would be like a 3.5 liter. So it did have the oomph, but not quite like the same amount of horsepower you find in your typical V6. So I put like 204 horsepower on the catalog anyway, but I don't know how much horsepower it has by now. But plenty of torque for sure. So it definitely had the oomph for it. So definitely when I pick up the Corolla, excuse me, that definitely will feel different. But the ride and everything, the maintenance and all that stuff, definitely much easier. Especially when having to deal with the gas right now. The Lexus that doesn't exactly suck up gas, but what the gas it sucks up is 91, so 91 octane. So that means I have to get the most expensive gas at the station, unfortunately. So that's something I had to deal with for during the lifetime with this car. Man, oh man. But it is what it is. It was a great car to like cruise with. It did its job. It definitely did its job, and I'm grateful that I was able to drive something pretty nice at the time. So, there's that. So, but I'm pretty good, for the most part, and I'll definitely settle down for a Corolla hatchback. So, I can't wait for that to happen. So, that's pretty much it on those parts. When it comes to like games and what I've been doing for my hobbies and stuff like that, I've been trying to doodle again. Here, very on and off. I try to get back into art, but just like it's just so hard to be consistent again, like I was in the past. And I do have a drawing tablet for it. I bought one a while back, and I just have not been using it a whole lot, unfortunately. But yeah, that's just what it is for right now. I've been trying to draw consistently, but it's been hard to get back into just because of like just other things just distract me, such as like some anime I've been watching on. I'm trying to keep up with One Piece with the manga anyway, but it's on break, so I'm just doing other stuff like just catching up on the anime here and there, and also just like watching YouTube videos and just I don't know. I just kind of been doing my own thing on the side, like making more videos and stuff like that for this channel, and like just whatever I can to like get by and stuff like that, and pretty much like just watching other just other stuff, like a lot of streaming shows such as like Stranger Things and pretty much like Kenobi and Miss Marvel, and so including The Boys, of course, which I really do like. I'll probably make a video about that at some point because I really do like that show. I think it deserves. It deserves a review from me anyway, definitely. So I do want to really talk about it. So at some point I'll try to get around to do that. But yeah, it's been quite the summer so far, and quite the interesting year so far. The games have been pretty dry for the most part. Like a lot of stuff has been pushed back or delayed or just purposely just on hold because of like certain worldly events. And especially with the Ukraine-Russian war that's been going on. So I've been waiting on Advance Wars for a long time, but it is understandable, so we'll have to wait on that. But it's been quite a ways, so we'll have to see when that comes out. They'll probably hold it till like holidays, because I feel like there's like really nothing to look forward to for the holidays except for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So that's pretty much like all there is to look forward to for major Nintendo titles anyway. I think anyway. But yeah, I mean, that's what comes to mind really. So yeah, it's been pretty dry in the game, so I've just been trying to like keep up with the movies and stuff like that to stream. I've not gone out as much, especially during summer, and just trying to be safe and stuff like that. And then just I also have been just thinking about a lot of things, but when it comes to like stuff relating to this sort of thing, I guess I can talk about it now. But like, I was thinking about going from Twitch to YouTube, and in terms of streaming, just cause it really isn't going anywhere with that Twitch channel. So I'll probably just like do like the special stuff, like the watch parties and stuff like that, on that channel. When it comes to YouTube though, I had used it before for like Final Fantasy 15, so it's not like my very first time or anything like that. But I did stream something with Apex on this channel, and it got me going with the membership stuff. So for those who don't know already, I do have a membership now on this channel. So if anyone wants to like show or provide some support of sorts, I really do appreciate it. You can do that by getting the membership here, and I'll try to provide more emotes and stuff like that. There are some perks to like the higher grades and stuff like that. I'll try to make a separate video about it, covering that sort of stuff. But I do have that going on. So if anyone wants to get ahead of that, then I really do appreciate it, because it helps out the channel, of course. And I've been trying to like get all the stuff sorted out with the merchandising and stuff like that. I do have a display store. I do have a Teespring store, and also I do have some sort of partnership with Glasses USA. So I'm trying to like get that going. Once I get the code or whatever, that should to get things going, hopefully. And hopefully I can get that all that sorted out. So there's a lot of stuff in the background going on for the YouTube channel. Been really trying to get things going for this sort of thing. So I'm trying to like get myself to stream more often when it comes to YouTube. So hopefully you guys look forward to that more. And it just makes more sense because I had been a YouTube partner for a very long time, ever since the dawn of monetizing channels on YouTube. And like I was a YouTube partner and also a MCN, or what was partner with the MCN of sorts firstly, like I think it was like TGN, and then Machinima, of course, that's the big one, and then of course full screen because things happen, and then the whole MCN sort of phenomenon sort of ended, right? So a lot of people got let go. So yeah, I'm pretty much like on my own as a YouTube partner, and but nonetheless though, I had all the tools for streaming, like the partnership stuff, like monetizing and the membership stuff, pretty much like what YouTube partners have, or excuse me, Twitch partners have, and that pretty much was like kind of collecting dust over time. I never used it. I should have, and if I did early on, that might have helped with the audience and stuff like that. In some way, more ways than one. But it is what it is. That's on me. But hopefully, from here on out, things will sort of look up, I guess, for my YouTube channel. So that's pretty much the gist of that part. So other than that, really much not much else to talk about significantly. I've been hanging in there. Otherwise, my family's been hanging in there. We're still kind of ourselves, and of course, I still think about my dad and stuff like that, and especially during Father's Day and stuff like that, and it's there are times where it does get a little rough, but I try to just think about the positive things and stuff like that with my dad, and everything else that pretty much like has been a good part of my life and stuff like that. So that is pretty much like what I've been sort of dealing with, but for the most part I've been hanging in there. I've been okay, and I'm still able to do the things I like for the most part, so gotta give it that. So but yeah, I think that's pretty much it when it comes to like major stuff. My car, my YouTube channel, and where it's going. And before, speaking of that, if anyone has like ideas for like emotes and stuff like that, and t-shirts and stuff, like t-shirt designs and all that stuff, feel absolutely free to leave those in the comment section below. And I'll take a look at them. I definitely won't like pick every single one, but you know what I mean, like I'll take a look at it, think about it, and then we'll go from there. But it'll definitely be helpful if any of you who have been with the channel for at this point and have any ideas, that would be great. So one thing I will give when it comes to warning is just when it comes to like if anything involves with my friends, I would like to avoid that, just because I don't want to like have the idea of like trying to monetize off of my friends and anything like that. I mean, I'm sure they'll be fine with it, or they don't really care about it, but like I don't know, I just feel kind of weird, especially with what the channel has right now. Like it really doesn't have any like we have fun stuff and like anything to that. I know that was like a legacy thing, but like I want to keep it where it makes sense as a current, you know what I mean? I want to kind of like be with the current times and not with the past. So that's kind of that's the point I wanted to make. So when it comes to that, so yeah. But really, other than that, I mean, I'll like just check out those ideas, and then just again, we'll go from there. So, but yeah, car streaming stuff, YouTube, this and that. Yeah. So again, that's all I got. Thank you guys very much for tuning in and checking on how I've been doing, stuff like that. Really appreciate you guys as always, and hopefully cool stuff can happen for all of us for the rest of this year. So time flies, man. Like we're already at the halfway point for 2022, and next thing we know, it's going to be 2023 already, and that's pretty much that, man. Crazy. So we'll see. We gotta wait and see what the future holds for us, and for not only for the rest of the year, but for 23 and beyond, I guess. So that is pretty much that. So again, thank you very much, And I will definitely see you guys in next video. Sean out.